Hey, good evening, guys. Scott here. Some little technical difficulties, so we're running a little behind. I guess it is right at 7 o'clock, but anyway, it's going to be out in a new spot with our gear tonight, but our internet connection just was not liking that, so some things just aren't available tonight how we wanted to, so apologize for that, but hopefully we get a few people on here. Give it another minute. Everybody's enjoying, hopefully the weather's going to change here soon. So been busy behind the scenes working on our portal, and of course we have another store and doing some upgrades here to the YouTube channel, but not really showing all that's happening tonight, but that's okay. Got a new light, got a new camera. Hopefully the camera shows a little better, and the microphone is a little better this week, so apologize for that last week. But so right now where we are is we thought we were going to be able to go out with you guys tonight live on the portal, but we have a few little glitches going on with the discounts, and they need to work appropriately across the board. But what I can show you right now, we don't have the final flyers uploaded from all the tracks. So these are just some temporary flyers, if you want to say that. But this is right now kind of what it'll look like when you go in to the site once we get everybody the link, and you would be able to go down and click on a specific race flyer. And when you would do that, then that would populate what's in there, and that would be a list right now of all the classes that would be available. And click on a class and add it to your cart. Of course, then it would show, where that entry is, the cost of that entry, and then depending on how many entries you sign up for, it'll do a discount code for that. Let me get rid of this other volume, sorry. But anyway, there's just a few little behind the scenes things that we're working on to make sure that this works flawlessly, and a couple things just aren't quite lined up. So, and hopefully we'll get the regular flyers on there for you guys. So, but that is the order that they obviously will happen this year. Pasco, Hank Perry, Eagles, West Side Series back at NORA, Eagle Hills there in Idaho, and then of course Monday's finishing out. So, and then there'll be some other choices on here. We'll eventually get some merch and things like that. Just been real busy trying to make sure this portal works correctly, so we want that to be out and flawless. And like I say, that you'd be able to click on home and it would list anything that's in there to click from, and there'll be some contact information obviously, and you do the same thing here. You could click here for sign-ups, take you right there, or you'll be able to click down here also. And of course we just have the products choice up here for swag, which there's really nothing in there right now. So, and we're working also again with the website nctracing.com, upgrade that, and there'll be links between both of them, the Shopify store here and of course the website. So that'll be good. Just wish we could have more on here. Just takes time. It's not this is not my forte, if you will say, and it's just been a lot. And anyway, it's fun. It's good experience. Good to know these kind of things, and just a lot to do. So quick reminder, of the official the schedule on here that we have for everybody and the classes, and of course we have track classes that are added at each location, and those are available in the portal, and they show that discounted rate that will be applied going in there. But one thing, the discount rate in the portal for like a track pit class, it's already at a discounted rate. So that track pit class, which right now most everybody has two-wheel drive short course, and it's, I think, four of the six tracks have two-wheel mod buggy for their track pick. So I think there's 2 other tracks that haven't picked their second track pick, but looks like 2 a short course as far as individual tracks or what they want to see. So that's great. I believe the Hank might be gas truck. I don't know. Jamie might remind me on that. Maybe one of their picks. NORA, I believe, is going to look at gas truck into a short course, but we'll see what that looks like. I mean, that's not until the 4th race, so we could not have our track picks completely done until we kind of see what's going on back here and make some adjustments there, of course, which is a good thing. It's not that many days away. I had it written down how many days to our first race, but we could probably figure the math out. But April 18th, so today's the 12th, so we're 9 weeks away. Just doing some rough math right there. So it's getting close out there. What else is going on with you guys? 2-wheel drive buggy, Jamie said, and 2-wheel drive short course. Okay. So that's for the Hank. I know there was some talk about gas truck, but maybe that's just not something that and that's fine. Maybe that'll happen again in another year or so. And I think that they race those, locally anyway. So that'll be, gas truck. He just told me gas truck's an exhibition race at the Hank. So cool. That's what we like. Those are cool vintage trucks, and I know Eagles is doing a vintage class, 2-wheel drive vintage, I believe it is. So that's exciting. A lot of excitement going on with that. Right now up here in the Northwest, I know the Island race is happening this weekend up on Vancouver Island. I went to it last year. Great facility, great event. It just didn't work out this year for what everything that we have going, so unable to go up there. I believe Ryan Cavallari is traveling up there for that, so that's great for those guys to have a sponsored driver come up, and he'll give some great advice and be in the pits and do all those things that he normally does and help those guys out. So I know that'll be a great weekend. Evan Roth will be there, of course, and I'll talk to him probably throughout the weekend and probably at the end of the weekend, early next week. Talk about how things went, and that's always a great thing. Those guys are just great people up there. They really put a lot of heart and soul into their program, and I just can't shout enough to Chris Mueller and I just forgot the other guy's name on the island, but. Apologize for that. But you guys know what we're talking about up there. Just a great group of guys there from Outlaw and the Island group. So that's really cool. Again, we have the champ cards that we're calling them. They have the codes on the back. So again, you'd be able to go in, pick where you were going to race at. The plan is that hopefully that you would be able to pick, for a champ, you'd be able to pick, let's say, Pasco, go in, click on that race, add that to your cart, go down the bottom, there's a spot there for enter your discount code. You'd be able to enter your discount code, hit apply, and it would take that dollar figure off of that race that you qualified for, and then you'd have a 0 cart checkout. So that's the next step we're working on is what that next step looks like. Once that's entered, and see how that transitions. We're hoping that no credit card information would need to happen if you like James Johnson, for example. He has 2 championships from last year. Let's say he was gonna come to Pasco and he was gonna enter in those 2 classes only and he goes and enters his codes. Cart says 0. Hopefully he would be able to just check out with the 0. And somehow some information, would have to get entered to know that it's him. That's the next step we're working on. But hopefully we don't have to have him enter any credit card stuff. Maybe that is the process. That's just where we're working at with that. So it would still be a 0, no money taken. Maybe just information wise. Now we would be able to track it on the other end. But anyway, just another step that we're working on and want to make sure that this just gets rolled out with or as little as complications as possible. So it sounds like we won't have to have any credit card information. He'll just have to log in. So okay, that makes sense. So it'll just be a login process, not any credit card information. So that's good. That's kind of it. Last weekend I know Die Hard had their indoor carpet race. I don't remember the exact numbers right now. I don't have that tablet. 150, I think, something like that. So great for them. Sounds like a pretty good number that they've pulled all year. I don't know what the hanger was the week before. I think that they have a little bit of a break coming up in the carpet, I believe, or maybe it's at the end of the month. There's another carpet, and then, of course, the Hobby Expo is in April. And, of course, all around that time, the big barn, they're coming down to whatever they are for days, 60 days or something like that. And then, of course, our first race is, 3 weeks after that. So it'll be great. A lot of things happen the next couple weeks. So Jason has, what's something on the 2-wheel short, what's that say? What's the call on 2-wheel short courses out? So the tracks get to vote on the series supported classes for the NCT, and the vote, when we talked about this October, November, was that 2-wheel short course didn't feel had enough following to have that supported in the series for this year. So right now it's not a series supported class this year voted that way, but it sounds like it's going to be offered at each track, and so there'll be awards for that, just not as of right now, not an end of year season championship award. And it is also, the track pick classes are offered at a discount rate at $45 for the weekend for those track picks classes. So regular classes are $60 this year. Spec tire is $70 this year. I just actually talked to the supplier for those, the TZO 601s, pre-mount, white wheels this year. Last year we did the gray. We want to separate ourselves from the other series that was running up here in the Northwest, the Wildy series, the Work series, and he is no longer supporting that series. I guess best way to say it. So there's not going to be that Work Wildy series. So we've decided to go with white wheels on the 601 pre-mounts for now. Possibly get some yellow also, but they'll be white or yellow. We don't plan on running the gray wheels this year for that spec tire class. And then novice, of course, is a $25 entry fee for that. And this year, novice is a series supported class that they voted on. So at the end of the season, there will be a champion crowned for novice, and that driver will be asked to move out of that class and maybe into sportsman, depending if they have 8 scale, or maybe one of the short course classes. We'll talk about that at the end of the year. And we'll have these discount championship cards that will be made up and available at the end race, which will be at Mondays this year. Should be at Mondays unless something else happens, but that's the plan, right? And we'll have these made up and be able to hand those out to our champions. The difference is they probably won't have their name on the back. Like you can see, this one has one that we just made up for me on there. Won't have that on the back, of course. Like James Johnson for 4-wheel short course. He's got a code in there, but I don't need to throw that across the screen. But probably won't be able to have the names made up, because there might be some champions that are battling on that last weekend's race, and we're not going to bring a laser laser printer engraver to do these to the track. So either that, or we'll talk to you guys through the year, and if you want a name on it and maybe we won't be able to hand it out at the race, we can just get it to you afterwards. Just, you know, a card, extremely light, could probably put that in the mail and mail it to you. We'll just work on that throughout the summer. So anyway, yeah, great on the chat. I wish I had more as far as the portal goes, but we're working on it, and hopefully we have some more for next weekend. New laptop will be showing up here shortly too, so we have a few issues with the laptop we're using. We want to separate those, but like the camera. Hope everybody likes the camera. We got a couple lights in the background. Hopefully we have a different kind of studio done to set up for next week. I'm back in here in our extra spot out here, kind of a office area. And anyway, that's kind of all I got. If someone else has something in the chat. Mike's asking who's heading up to the barn. So I know myself, I'm going. I know I've talked to Carson Phipps. I know he'll be going locally from down here. I don't know anyone else in particular from down here that has said 100% yes. I'm sure some of the normal traveling racers will go. Hopefully some more racers will go. It's a great event. It's a great fun weekend. It's a big event. They're actually using pit lane that we have now for their event to help them out. So that'll be great for them. You know, we're here to help and support anyone that help and support us. So that'll be going up there, and pit lane at the barn. So that's great. And there should be live coverage at each event this year at all our NCTs. So that is something that we will be doing. We'll kind of work on that audio as we get there, as far as the RD audio, or we're going to have, you know, maybe a microphone that we can talk to maybe after some qualifying with somebody, maybe a kind of some impromptu like interview possibly is what we're kind of throwing around out there. But we'll see. We'll just see how that works, and excited, and a lot of good things. Going to be a lot of fun, and just can't wait to get back and see all the RC people out there, and we're glad that NORA's, you know, back on board, and get the NCT back over here to the west side, and, you know, West Side Challenge is going to be up and alive again, so that's great. That's pretty much it, you guys. 18 minutes on here. Like I said, I wish we had some more, but we don't. But I'll just sign off, and hope everybody that's racing this weekend has a great weekend event, and bring home some hardware, and maybe some people, we can figure some more stuff out. We'll get maybe some people in the chat, and we can talk with some people in the near future, and you know, really grow this channel and get some more interest on what people want. Classes, marshalling, size of races, where we get things done at an early, you know, for everybody. All that information needs to be you know, talked about for everywhere that people go, and they don't feel that they're going somewhere and not being able to get a lot of track time for the amount of money that they pay. So that's something that we want to make sure that everybody, all racing, RC racing, you know, understands that. So anyway, this is kind of all I got. Appreciate you guys. Thursday, going in the weekend. Happy Valentine's to everybody out there. Hopefully you bought or went and got, you know, flowers or chocolate or whatever those things are you're supposed to get. I'm supposed to probably get something too, so if I don't, I'll be in trouble. Anyway, all right guys, appreciate it. We will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.